The Vox battlecruiser Indomitable will hung in orbit above the newly discovered planet designated HT 2187c. To most species in the Galactic Confederation, this world would be classified as utterly uninhabitable. Extreme temperature variations, Prussian gravity, and atmospheric composition that would poison most sentient life within minutes. Yet it had natives, humans, that called themselves. Commander Tarak stood on the observation deck. His violet eyes narrowed as he studied the blue-green orb below. Its species, the Vox, were renowned throughout the galaxy as the fiercest warriors, tall, muscular beings with exoskeletons capable of withstanding tremendous damage. They had conquered 17 systems before the Confederation managed to broker a peace treaty. The human representative has arrived for the trial, Commander, reported Lieutenant Mira, her antenna twitching nervously. Tarak nodded. Ring them aboard. The Confederation had established contact with humans only 6 months ago. Initial interactions had been peaceful, even promising, until the Vox requested a military alliance. Their protocols required testing potential allies through a series of challenges designed to evaluate combat readiness and psychological fortitude. Most species failed. The Vox expected humans would too. The human delegate, Captain Alex Reed, arrived without ceremony. Standing at just under 2 meters tall, Reed appeared unremarkable compared to the towering Vox warriors who surrounded them. Yet there was something in those brown eyes that unsettled Tarak. Welcome aboard the Indomitable will Tarak said formally. I trust you understand the purpose of your visit? Reed nodded. To determine if humans are worthy allies in combat. We're prepared for your trials. There is only one trial today, Tarak replied, the endurance chamber. A flicker of confusion crossed Reed's face. Just one. Your ambassador mentioned multiple tests. Most species fail the first. It makes additional testing unnecessary. Reed smiled. It wasn't a pleasant expression. I see. Shall we begin? The endurance chamber was a spherical room at the heart of the battlecruiser. Inside, neural projectors created customized scenarios designed to break the subject's mind. The technology accessed deep-seated fears and magnified them, creating increasingly horrific visions until the subject surrendered or lost consciousness. The Vox warriors gathered in the observation room, joined by representatives from 3 other Confederation species who had requested to witness the trial. The chamber's interior was visible through a transparent barrier. The record for endurance is 11 minutes, Tarak informed Reed, held by our own warriors. Reed removed their jacket, revealing simple attire underneath. What's the protocol? Enter the chamber, experience whatever comes. Signal surrender by placing both hands on your head. Medical intervention occurs if vital signs become critical. Reed nodded and stepped inside without hesitation. Tarak activated the neural scanner, which would analyze Reed's brain patterns to identify optimal fear stimuli. The chamber darkened. Beginning sequence, announced Lieutenant Mira. At first, nothing seemed to happen. Reed stood calmly in the center of the chamber, eyes forward, breathing even. Neural engagement confirmed, Mira reported, sounding puzzled. Subject is experiencing stimuli. The minutes ticked by. 5 minutes, 8 minutes, 10 minutes. Reed hadn't moved. Tarak frowned. Increase intensity to maximum. Already at maximum, Commander, Mira replied. Has been since minute 3. The Vox warriors exchanged glances. This was unprecedented. At 15 minutes, Reed shifted positions, rolling shoulders as if working out a mild cramp. What is happening? Demanded Tarak. The system is functioning correctly, Mira reported. The human is experiencing the most terrifying scenarios the system can generate. At 20 minutes, Reed raised a hand. The Vox tensed, expecting surrender. Instead, Reed waved at the observation window and called out, Is it supposed to be doing something specific? I'm seeing some unpleasant imagery, but nothing particularly troubling. Silence fell across the observation deck. At 30 minutes, Tarak ordered the trial terminated. Reed exited the chamber looking slightly bored. Did I fail? Reed asked. What did you experience in there? Tarak's voice was barely above a whisper. Reed shrugged. Various scenarios: isolation, loved ones dying, physical torture, being buried alive, standard nightmare material. One of the alien observers made a sound like water boiling and promptly left the room. "And these did not break you?" Tarak asked. Reeb looked genuinely confused. "Break me? No. Most human children experience worse in their dreams by age 10. We evolved on a planet that tried to kill us daily. Our own minds developed to test our psychological limits regularly. You're saying humans routinely endure such mental anguish?" Mira's antenna had gone completely still, a sign of extreme shock among her species. "Of course. We call it anxiety, intrusive thoughts, catastrophizing, perfectly normal cognitive functions." Reed glanced around at the stunned aliens. "On Earth, we put teenagers through something called final exams and college applications that generate more sustained psychological distress than your chamber." The Vox warriors looked at each other in growing horror as understanding dawned. Humans didn't just endure psychological torture. They had evolved with minds that generated it naturally, constantly, as a survival mechanism. "I think," Tarak said slowly, "we need to reconsider the terms of our potential alliance." Later, as the human shuttle departed, Tarak stood again at the observation window, studying the death world below with new eyes. "Lieutenant," he said quietly, "update our protocols. Humans are not to be tested again, and inform the Confederation Council. These beings from HD 2187C should never, under any circumstances, be provoked into hostility." Mira nodded, still visibly shaken. "Their psychological endurance is not endurance at all," Tarak finished. "It's immunity. They've adapted to constant mental warfare as a baseline state of existence." He turned away from the viewport, his decision made. "These humans don't need allies," he said, "but the galaxy may very well need them as guardians."